Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ultimate server creation guide, where I am going to take you through all the steps that you need to know right from the beginning of creating a server, right up till the end. I'm not going to go into too much advanced settings like creating a custom small map on the entire map or basically going into the JSON economy file. I'll just go through it briefly. But if you want to set up your own server, this is the video for you to learn everything that you need to learn. And I've got an affiliate link down below as well. So I'm going to show you how to set up a server from Ping Perfect. Okay, it's the hosting company that I'm using at the moment. And overall, I've tested all the hosting companies out there, and some of them are getting better. But for now, Ping Perfect is very high up when it comes to service. Nothing is perfect, but I'm still happy with them. So right here, you can see it's the homepage. Okay, you can rent a server on over 170 different games. Whatever you can think of, whatever game you're playing, so we can view all the games. 7 Days to Die. I'm just going to check all the games here. 7 Days to Die, Ark, Daisy, Atlas, Astroneer. Okay, a bunch of games that you can host servers on. Conan Exile. Um, like seriously, over 170 games that you can host your own server on. And it doesn't have to be a big server. It can be a small server just for you and your friends. So that's also very, very important to remember. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to purchase a server, okay? And I'm going to go to, let me just get my bearings over here. I think I'm just going to go back to the home page. And then I'm going to go order year. Okay. V Rising. No. We want Scum. Okay, so we're going to click on Scum. Then I'm going to go for a European one. Let me see here. I usually go for the top one. Prices for Scum are per server. Discounts are available for longer rental periods. 5% discount for quarterly, 10% for semi-annually, and 15% discounts for annual. Okay. I think I usually go for, this is just the currency. Okay. I feel this is just the currency that we go for. So we go there, and here you can see the location. Okay. So there it tells you for a 10 pop server, it's about $20. Okay. $20 per month. And that's why I say you can rent a server just for you and your friends. 10 friends, each guy gives $2 each. Okay. It's not such a big deal. And then their features is an instant setup. It is quite instant, 24/7 support. There is 24/7 support. And yeah, IP band system you can access, a lot of different advantages that they give. And then we strongly recommend extreme performance hardware for a game server with over 30 players. Okay, so I'm going to go over 30. So yeah, you can just have the choices where you want to be. Okay. So London is there, but it hasn't got an extreme. Yeah, the UK London extreme options are taken. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for the Netherlands or France. Both of them really work well for me. But let's go for the Netherlands. Going for the fastest hard drive option. Going for 50 slots. This is where the costs start ramping up. So we went from $20 to $70. Okay. That's where the costs really ramp up. And of course, it's the extreme performance. So because of extreme performance, they're going to charge you extra as well. Um, yeah, $22 there. Okay. So it's $22 more for the extreme. And then it's just $2 for the normal server. Okay. So that's where where it starts ramping up. And then I'm just gonna go for high priority. So the server ends up costing you about $80. Now, if you increase the pop, that will increase the price as well. But on all my servers, except for Survival Evolved and Survival Evolved, New Dawn, and the Meat Grinder is on the most expensive dedicated server they have to offer. That server is about $250. Okay. So overall, I'm paying over about $600 per month for all my servers. But this is where it starts getting expensive. But I mean, the lower your pop is, like, you can start with a 20 pop to just test your server out. I don't recommend starting with a 10 pop. So I would recommend just starting out with a standard server. So if I just want to test if I can get players onto my server, then a target of 20 is really, really good for me. So then I'm going to go there. I'm going to go for a 20 pop. I'm going to go for normal priority. And then I'm paying $25. Okay. We just went from 70 to 25. And of course, if it's not an extreme server, then the costs aren't going up hectically. But of course, I'm going for the extreme performance and then the high priority to get me to the 78. So that's what you do here. And then the server name is my new server, so the Wasteland. So you're giving the server name here, the Wasteland, hosted by Luthais, because none of my servers are sponsored. Okay. And then Archon password, I'm just going to, you can put a password in here. I don't really put a password in, but yeah, I've got a password that I'm using. I'm just not going to type it in right now, but I think we can go ahead like this without typing the password in. Okay. So I'll add the password later. I can always do it in my game panel. So hope this explains it to you. Quite straightforward. Okay. You click on the game Scum, and then you do the steps that I took. Okay. Choose billing. Make sure you choose the billing that you want over here. And then we're just going to click continue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they did ask me for a password. So I put the password in, and I think there's a promo code get25 or something like that. That's the current promotion code for your first month. So there we're getting $20 off on our first month. Okay. So you can use a promo code that is get25 for your first month. And of course, if you use my affiliate link down below, it will just help me a little bit to support all the servers that we're running. So there we are. We put they want a password. We put the password in. We entered the get25 code now to get discount there. Now we're going to check out. Okay, so there the order is done. They are, of course, I'm not going to show you guys that, but they ask you for your personal information, your billing address, your card, whether it's credit card or a debit card. They just ask you for all your information and your payment information, and that's your order number. Okay, so you can always use the order number as a reference. They're probably going to ask you for an email, because I do get email notifications constantly with whatever's happening. There it says you will receive a confirmation email shortly. And now you can just go to the client area. Okay. This will be your game panel dot ping perfect. And this is what your game panel will look like. So there's my new 50 slot server, and it's processing. Okay. Here's all the servers that I'm running. The event server is shut down to not to not use any memory. It's part of the dedicated server, because the dedicated server's got a ton of RAM, and the best CPU and everything that money can buy. So yeah, I'm just keeping the event server down until I run an event, and then the event lasts for about an hour or something like that, and then I put it off again. But yeah, you can see you've got all your servers right in front of you. Okay, and when you go to a server, you've got your configuration files where you can change your settings. But with the latest update of Scum, we don't have an easy config file here. Like you can go to the text editor, but there's not an easy config file here. So you're going to have to configure your server in game. Okay, and to do that, here by server settings admin users.ini, you're going to have to put your Steam 64-bit Steam ID in here. And then what I also like to do is, except for putting your Steam ID into the server settings admin users.ini file right here, you want to put it in at the admins as well. Okay, now I've got a few admins on Survival Evolved, but you want to put it in here as well. Okay, and then I just helped someone today, so I like to turn God mode off. The two admins that don't play on the server has got God mode. I don't like having God mode on while I'm on the server, because that just, just a pain in the butt to make sure that you're not using those powers. So now I'm like a normal player. I can just use the standard commands like seeing what players are on the server and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very important in your configuration file. You want to make sure that your Steam ID, only yours, because this person can do anything to the server. Okay, anything. You want to protect your password and username to get into the game panel, because if you give someone that information that you might not trust, or at the end of the day, you don't want to give your information of your game panel away to too many people, because if all your servers gets deleted and something really, really bad happens, then you don't know, you don't know what happened. Then, of course, exclusive users. The only reason you're putting a Steam ID in here is if you you want to make the server public, but only you and your friends can join that server. Okay, so you don't have to complicate it for yourself. You can make your server public. Just add your friends' Steam IDs here, okay? Just your friends' Steam IDs, and that will be fine. And then muted users, haven't really used that. You just mute them so that they can't talk in chat because they're toxic or whatever. I just ban toxic players. Whitelisted is Steam IDs that you can add so that if your server is full, then important people can join the server. But I mean, I don't use that, but I mean, if your server gets full quite easily, it's quite important for you and your admins to be able to get onto the server. Okay, so you might want to put your Steam ID in there. And then this is the economy file. Okay, I'm just going to go through it briefly. It's just various settings. So the economy override means it's just various settings here. So economy reset time in hours. So the economy resets every hour. Okay. Then prices randomization time hours. It's just every hour the price is randomized. Then tradable rotation time in-game hours. Okay. So again, just rotating the price and everything. This is all default, guys. So I don't want you to play with this at all. Okay, fully restocked tradable hours. The traders gets restocked every 2 hours. That's just because some items, are limited. Trader funds change rate per hour. To make it very, very easy and simple for you, what I like to do is I like to change the only things that I change is prices subject to player count. I want to put that to 0. It's very unfair because when there's only one player on your server, then he can only sell his items for half the price. And when the server is full, then the other people can sell it for double the price, like on my server. Okay, it's basically double the price. So put this to 0. Gold price subject to global multiplier. You can put this off, but this doesn't really affect me. Economy logging is so that the logs, you get the logs of everything people do at the traders. And if you've got a really, really clever person like me, which is Dills, then everything is automated in your Discord. So you never have to go to your log files with certain bots. We get all the logs in detail. Very easy to spot, very easy to sort out, okay? So I don't look at any logs by going into my log viewer in this website. I go into my logs through Discord. But you need someone who's very good with it, and I've got someone like that. Trade unlimited funds, I put it on 1. It's usually on 0, and this is usually on 0. So I just made the traders have unlimited funds so that you don't waste your time getting to a trader and someone's cleared out the trader. And again, with the stock, just the fact that it's limited gives certain players that camp the traders, or that calculate the times, that calculate these times. I don't want my players to focus on at what minute the trader's stock is going to reset and all that other stuff. So I put the traders on unlimited funds and unlimited stock. Only after player sale. This is basically just someone has to sell something to activate the traders. That happens very, very quickly. Tradable, rotation, enabled, and then enable fame point requirements. So you can put the fame requirement to buy items off if you want to, which I do not do. And then this is where things get complicated. And just to give you a quick breakdown of this, if I want to add, if I don't want people to buy a certain item at a trader, then can be purchased, I set to false. Okay, you will see here that there's false items. And all I do, and then of course the base purchase price you can set, the base sell price you can set yourself if you don't like the prices of certain items. And all I basically do is it gives you this default. You will get an example like this. And then I just highlight all of this. I click Control C, okay, to copy this. And then I press Enter and I go backwards to paste that code from that to that, okay? I just paste it in here so that I can use the frag grenade as a reference. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just not going to save. So all we're going to do is we're going to highlight this, okay, just that piece of coding, Control C, and then we're going to click there, Enter, backspace, 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 backspace. Of course, I've got 2 lines here, so I'm going to just start the coding here from the beginning line, press Control V. So there he just adds another line. So I've got 2 frag grenades. So now I can spawn in the item in the game to get the code for that item, and I can decide what its purchase price will be, its sell price will be, and then I can decide whether I want my trader to sell that item or not sell that item. True default means you can sell it, false means you can't sell it. Okay? So that's it. I'm just going to go back here and just make sure I didn't, make sure it didn't save anything there. Just going to go to my econ file. And yeah, I've added a lot of things. Okay, I've added a heck of a lot of things to my econ file. And then when I'm done, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click over here. I'm going to go Control A to select everything and Control C to copy everything, so that when this server is set up, then I can basically go to the economy file and change it, because this is what the defaults will look like. Okay, this is your default one. And they gave you all the traders there, so you can just add the coding and just copy the same thing there. You see that bracket is open there. They gave you a bracket that's open and closed. So of course you'll have to start like this. Okay, you have to get those brackets exactly the same to add stuff, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So if I want to add this, coding, Control C. If I want to add that coding here, I have to basically go Enter, go to the first block, because I want to start it exactly the way it started there, Control V, and now I've got it. okay, like it is there. And then I want to see how they close the bracket. So that's basically how they close the bracket. So, and here it gives me a warning. So it's telling me I don't, you can see there where it ends, it hasn't got a comma. So it's giving me a warning. So I go backspace. Now I'm ending the boat shop exactly like the armory one ended. But I mean, this is a more advanced guide, guys. So I'm not going to go into that. All I'm basically going to do is going to go, okay, I already copied the free thing now. So I'm going to go back to Survival Evolved because I just changed the economy file for the Wasteland server. So Control A, Control C. Then I'm going to go back to my new server. I'm going to go to the economy file. And then I'm just going to go Control A. Okay, now we have to click there. Control A and Control V. And there I've just pasted everything into my new server, okay, that I'm using on all my other servers. So this takes a lot of time. There are miniature programs on the internet that you can use to make this easier, but it's quite basic if you just look at how it works, okay? Just don't stuff around with this a lot. So I'm going to save that so that my Wasteland server is right now. And then the other thing that I want to do is just set up. I'm going to go to the settings now in game. So what I'm going to do now is copy my Steam ID, which I don't know out of my head. Control C, because now I have to go when the server is running at the moment. So what I have to do now is I have to go to the server settings, admin thing, and add my Steam ID there, save. And then I want to go to the admin users, and I want to go Control V, and I just want to enter God mode for now, so I'm not struggling with anything, okay? So to add God mode there, you just make a bracket, God mode, bracket, okay? So now I'm an admin on the user, I'm an admin on the server, and I can change the settings in game. So this is just to change the settings in game. You need your ID, and then this is to be the admin on the server and do different things on the server. Okay, and then of course I am going to make this server exclusive for just people have to talk to me before they join the Wasteland. So I'm just going to make sure that I at least add my Steam ID in there so that no one else can join the server, because for now only I can join the server, and people have to talk to me and they have to go through a security check before they can go onto the new server, which is going to be called the Wasteland. Now, if I skip certain parts, guys, just because I don't want to give away any passwords or anything, but I do feel to save the name, I need usually you would go into the config editor and then save, but there's nothing to save here. So what I'm literally going to do now is I'm first going to change the settings before I wipe the server. You want to set everything up the way you want it, and then you go and wipe your server, okay? Not beforehand. So we're going to go into the game now and look for our server. At the moment, it just says 50 slots. So I'm just going to go in here and Scum server name, okay? So just for now, to help me find my own server, I'm going to go to Wasteland, hosted by Luthais. I'm not really sure why they didn't include that, because I gave them the name, but it's fine. Server description, I'm not going to focus on that right now. I'm just going to say most realistic server in Scum without any rules. Okay? And then the welcome message. We're just going to go, welcome to the wasteland. And then not for, I don't have to put that because, yeah, not for inexperienced players. Okay. So that's the welcome message of the day. I can set all this up in game. I don't need to worry about that. But yeah, I just want to get the name so that I can identify the name. Okay. Then we go here and we try and reload the page because the server is finished. So now we're going to go into the game. So I'll see you guys in the game. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just restarted the server. Okay, sometimes it takes a little while before your server can be seen, but you can always use the IP to set up the server so long. Okay, so I'm just going to go in on the server. I really don't care what character I'm using. Okay, I'm going to set up the server now. It's not about playing with a character, it's just about setting up the server. Okay, so I'm just gonna land in a place where nothing will bother me. And the big thing is, guys, your server has now been created, but it's been created on default settings. Okay, so all the settings on the server is default. The cars are starting to spawn in, everything is already set on the server. So you want to set all the things the way you want it, and then you want to wipe the server. You don't want to just try and rewrite the default settings. You want to make sure all the settings are perfect for you and then wipe the server so that all your settings can come into the server for the first time fresh. So what we're going to do now is press escape, and now there's server settings because we added our Steam ID to our game panel. And here now we're going to get fancy. Okay, so now the wasteland hosted by Luthais, and I'm going to put their realism. Okay, it's a realism server. Welcome message. Welcome to the wasteland. Not for inexperienced players. That's good. Message of the day. What I'm going to do here is server restart. Although I don't even think people are going to see this because the global chat is off on the server, will be off. But you can say server restart in 10 minutes. Okay. And then this server is going to restart like every 4 hours. I want to make it 4 hours. Usually I make it 2 or 3 hours, but I'm going to make it 4 hours because I want the cargo drops to land between an hour to 4 hours so that people don't just spam the cargo drops. So 4 hours is 240 minutes. So I'm going to make it 228. Server takes about 2 minutes to restart. That process takes about 2 minutes. And of course, I want to give them the message 10 minutes beforehand because when it restarts, it takes 2 minutes to get started. But the minutes are already going to start counting. Okay. And this is in minutes. So I'm just going 228. So then if your server has got global chat, 10 minutes before the server has to restart, that message will come up. Or you can put any message in here that you want, whatever you want here, and say, I want them to see this message every 30 minutes. But I just want them to see this message at the end, okay, just before the server restarts. So you can use this to tell your server something every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 30 minutes, or you can use it for a restart because you're going to set up your restarts in the game panel. There is scheduled restarts, and then you have to put the times in there, for when you want your service to restart. Mine is going to be on 4 hours, so this time works out perfectly. The maximum ping, I put it about 300. You don't want to put it too high, otherwise people with very high ping can affect the server negatively. The logout timer, I'm going to put to 600 seconds, 10 minutes, because it is a realistic server. So you have to make sure that you're safe before you log out. Logout timer while captured. You're going to make that 600 as well in case you get captured. Allow first person, yes. Allow third person, no. That's unrealistic. Crosshair, no. That's unrealistic. I'm not going to do the voting thing. Allow map screen. We're going to disable the map because it's a realistic server. Allow kill claiming. So this is just whether you want to allow first person or not. Allow third person. This is very simple, guys. Allow crosshair is the little dot that you get on your screen. You can put that off. The voting, I haven't really used the voting yet, but people can vote for certain things. But I'm not, I don't really use it, so I can't really help you with that. And then allow kill claiming. The kill claiming doesn't even work at the moment, really. But, just to give a guy an extra process to do at the end of the day, I'll keep it on, and maybe they make it so that kill claiming has an effect again. Allow mines and traps, yes, because I removed all the mines from my trader. Otherwise, that would be a massive problem. Because you can place mines anywhere on the server, but the loot is going to be a little bit lower, not a lot lower, a little bit lower, and then of course I made it so that you can't buy any mines from the traders, okay? So this is whether you want to allow mines or not on your server. Allow skill gain in safe zones. I'm putting this off because a lot of people just sit in the trader zones, and when I see someone just sitting in a trader zone on my normal servers, I want to tell them, what you're busy with, because people that sit in a trader zone most of the time are there to troll other people. So I usually put it off so that they can't use an excuse like they're leveling up or something like that. Allow events. I always put this off because it has a major impact on my servers, but this is whether you allow events on your server or not. Limit global chat. You can limit it or not. This is global chat. I'm putting global chat off. This is local chat. I'm putting local chat off. So I'm just allowing. There is no squads on the server, so I'm putting that off. You have to communicate in Discord when you play with other people, and you can play with as many as you want. Allow admin chat. Yeah, admin. Although they aren't really going to be admins, but I mean I'm going to be on here, so just in case I need someone's help, we can talk to one another. Rusty locks. Logging is just, if you want logs on when locks are being opened. But actually, I'm going to put it on, okay? Just so that there's a log for what locks are being opened to see if anyone's spamming anything or something's going weird. Hide kill notification, I'm putting it off because it's unrealistic to see a kill notification, but on all my other servers, it's on. Use map-based building restrictions. Basically, when this is on, Scum is like it's like official. You've got certain zones on the map where you can't build. If you want to make your map build anywhere, like they can build wherever they want, you put this off, okay? Disable base building, you can disable it if you want to. I don't know why people would want to. And then this is later on when you've established your server and your player base has, accumulated things, then you can activate this for the next restart. So you can say on the next restart, I want to do a partial wipe, where basically just the map gets wiped, but nothing happens to the character's skills. And I can add a gold wipe. So I remove the gold from the character as well. Okay? Plain and simple. And then after the server restarted, you want to put this off. Because while this is on, every time your server restarts, it's going to partially wipe your server, and you don't want that. So you put this on once, get onto the server, put it off. Okay? So I'm going to apply that, and they say the only things that needs to restart is the ping setting and the allow event setting. So I'm going, okay. If I scroll up, there's no other settings here that I need to worry about for now. Okay, so then we go into world. This is the zombies. I'm putting all the puppets on max. I might put it down to 300, but the only time when the server is really going to start suffering is when there's a lot of players on the server. But I'm going to put it on 500 for now. I'm going to put the drones to max because there's no rules on the server. And I want this to be like a realistic Scum Island experience. So I'm going to put the drones to max just to counter the campers a little bit. And then, of course, depending on how full your server gets, like SE, I can't put SE over 150 total puppets because that starts putting major pressure on your server. So as soon as your server starts suffering, try and, like, if you have a full server, when I say full, I mean 50 to 80 players. I would suggest, because the server only starts suffering over 40 players. And because the Wasteland is at the moment on a max of 50, and a lot of people are, the turnaround time on the Wasteland is going to be very, very high. People are going to try it, not going to be their cup of tea, and they're going to leave, just like on any server, okay? So for now, I'm giving them a great experience. But when the server starts suffering, I'll put this down. I'll never take the zombies lower than 100. And I like, on a full server, I like to have the puppet numbers on like 150 to 200, okay? But for now, max. The multipliers just means instead of one puppet spawning, you can multiply that spawner, okay? So max allowed zombies is the puppets, max allowed exterior zombies is the zombies that you get in the forest. Like here where I am, there's the forest. Anywhere where there's not a town, okay? Basic forest, no points of interest, nothing important there, just the forest. That's exterior. Sorry, that's wild. Wild is puppets in the forest, okay? Exterior is puppets outside of the buildings, outside of a bunker, outside of the houses in the town. So the puppets that you get around the police station, not inside the police station, that's exterior. The puppets that you get outside of a bunker, not inside the bunker, is exterior. And then interior is inside the houses, inside the bunker, okay? So what I'm going to do here is the exterior. I'm just going to put all the multipliers to 4. I've tested this. This is a very good balance. You don't want to set this to 10, okay? Because if you set the multiplier to 10, it's not like there are, it isn't like there is set spawn points when you activate the multiplier. It's just trying to spawn more puppets around that specific spawn point. So if you put it to 10, puppets are going to start spawning on the roofs. It's just going to look terrible. You can set your server to times 10. I'm just telling you that a lot of puppets are just going to glitch into the bunker walls. You're going to get a lot more puppets that just glitch through buildings. And you're going to have a lot of puppets that just spawn on top of roofs, okay? So I would never go higher than 5 with exterior and interior. And I never, the wild you can go as high as you want, but you are going to have puppets that spawn on top of trees, okay? But on the wild, you can go as high as you want. But I feel 4 is a very, very good balance. And then the cooldown timer is just how long does it take for these puppets to respawn after you've killed them. Now, because it's a realistic server, and because I want to give people time to loot a bunker or whatever, I'm going to put this on 1,800, which is basically 300 is 5 minutes, okay? I want to make it a half an hour, so it's 3 times 6, which is 1,800 minutes, okay? So the exterior I'm going to put on a half an hour, and the interior I'm going to put on a half an hour if someone's been there, okay? Again, it's based on realism, and, puppets spawning back isn't very realistic after you've killed them. So, wherever I can make the server realistic, I'm going to make it realistic. And then this is just when you jump into the map, the check-in timers, it's just when you spawn into the map, how long does it take before puppets spawn on the map? Like, this is 10 seconds. When you drop, you've got 10, what is this? Modify in seconds. 10 seconds, guys. So when you drop in, puppets can start spawning in 10 minutes, in 10 seconds. I rather want to know where the puppets are right from the start. Okay? I want to know where the puppets are right from the start. I don't want to wait 10 seconds to see where they pop up. So as soon as I jump into the map and I open my parachute, I can see them spawning in underneath me, and I can start making plans. And again, it's realistic that you don't have a window where there aren't any puppets, okay? Then exterior spawn probability, I'm just putting both of these on 100%. You can set this to whatever you want. So if you put it on 50%, then when you enter the area, only 50% of the spawn points are going to activate, or there's only a 50% chance for each and every spawn to activate. So when you enter a bunker, let's say there's 20 puppet spawn points where a puppet can spawn. When you put this to 50%, then every time you enter that area, each and every spawn point, like there's 20 of them, every spawn point is going to go through a randomized calculator, and each of them have individually, not together, individually, each spawn point has a 50% chance whether a puppet's going to spawn there or not spawn there. So on a standard server, I like to use 50 because every time I go into a bunker, it feels different. You know, if you put both of these on 50%, there's sometimes when you go to a place, there's like no puppets, and then other times there's like normal puppets, and then other times there's a ton of puppets. Okay, so it just makes the experience a bit, a bit less the same. But of course, this server is the wasteland, maximum danger. I don't want people to get to loot easily at all. So all the spawn points are going to activate wherever they go, and it's going to be on a 4 times multiplier, which is a really, really good balance. Disable sentry spawning. That's if you don't want sentries, okay? So default is the sentries is on, but if you want to disable it, you turn it on so that sentries don't spawn. If you want to disable suicide puppets, you can turn this on so you don't want suicide puppets. I want sentries and I want suicide puppets, so I'm going to apply again. And then just see if there's any more options. Yes, there's more options up above. So start time of day, I like to do this early in the morning. And then the sunset time, I want to put at 10 o'clock at night. And then the sunrise time, I want to put at about 4. Yeah. Don't want nighttime to be too long. And nighttime is going to be extremely dark. So here at the nighttime, you guys can see that it says intensity of nighttime darkness. The lower it is, the brighter it is. So I'm putting it at max. Again, very realistic, very dark, very atmospheric. I want to force players to not just roam around freely at night if they're not willing to craft a torch, or they don't have night vision, or I just want to motivate them to do other things during the night, So again, just for me, the time of day speed, that is default. 3.84 is default, so that's good. So I'm happy with everything here. So I'm going to click apply. That's everything will only apply after a restart. Then on the map, enabled locked loot containers. You can make it that all the containers are unlocked. I don't like that. And this is the custom map, so you can make it so that people can only play in one sector, and then you can set the coordinates here and stuff like that. I don't play with that, so I'm not really interested. Can't help you with that. And then subcategory, the cargo drop. So because this is a realistic server and I don't want people just to spam the cargo drops all day, I'm going to make it so that a cargo drop can land from 60 minutes to 220 minutes. I'm going to make it to 18. Again, because of the 2-minute delay that a server restart has. The reason I'm not making it 240, because the server is going to restart every 4 hours, which is 240 minutes. The reason I'm not making it 4 hours is it doesn't help the cargo drop spawning when the second the server wants to restart. Okay, so you want to give the players time to loot the cargo drop. So I'm giving them time, okay, to loot the cargo drop. I might give them time to get away as well. So let's make this 10. Might give them time to get away as well. The fall duration, this is broken. Okay, this is how long the cargo drop takes to hit the ground, okay, before the cargo drop starts to fall. So this means this is in seconds. Yeah, so they want you to wait. They're going to tell you a cargo drop's on the way, but this is the bug, guys. Because this is 9 minutes that you have to wait before the cargo drop comes down, okay? So we're going to put that on the standard 2 minutes before the cargo drop falls. Fall duration is 60 seconds, and then the cargo drop self-destruct time is 20 minutes. You can set it to an hour, that the cargo drop stays there for an hour before it self-destructs. But the standard time is quite nice, puts pressure on. Just make sure you change this time. This time is broken at the moment. Hopefully they fix it in the future. But you want the cargo drop fall delay to be 2 minutes. Everyone's gets the notification that a cargo drop's going to happen. 2 minutes later, it starts falling, and it takes 60 seconds to hit the ground, okay? So there we go. We're going to click apply here. And then allow hunts. The hunting sounds irritate me a little bit, so I just put this to 10. Okay, overall, there's going to be 10 instances. I thought about 5, but then I thought to myself, what if everyone is in a hunting mood? So I'm giving about the fifth of the server an opportunity to hunt whenever they want to hunt. And then I'm just giving players 3 minutes, to find the next clue. So, yeah, that's just standard. Nothing special about that. And now we're going to respawn. So this is where the secret comes to a server. Allow sector respawn, allow shelter respawn. That's fine. So the random respawn price is how much it's going to cost players in money to random spawn. Wasteland is going to be 1,000, so that you don't get any trolls that just kill themselves constantly, and they're not worried about the money. And there's another major thing that will stop them here that you guys will see. Instead of them just killing themselves trying to troll the server, it's going to be very difficult on the server. Then a sector spawn is going to be 5 gold. So you can either just put in the currency in money, how much it's going to cost to spawn randomly. So usually it's $250 for a random and $1,000 for a sector. On my server, it's going to cost 5 gold to spawn in a sector or in a shelter. That will make raiding very, very realistic as well, so that people... It will physically cost the clan a lot of money to just keep respawning while they're trying to raid you. It won't be worth it for a clan to, if you win a fight against a group, because there will be no clans on the server. You won't be able to see any name tags. But again, you can make a group. You can talk in Discord. It will just be a realistic, so that friendly fire and stuff like that is possible. It's just to demotivate people from spamming the same thing, and a lot of players make the mistake of going back to their bodies and just getting killed again, and that upsets them. So just very hard settings for the Wasteland. But if you are an experienced player, getting 5 gold is nothing, okay? And for an experienced player, I actually want you to just random respawn if you're not taking the game seriously. But if you take the game seriously, you reap the rewards, okay? And basically you're paying for a clone, okay? But in any case, random respawn timer 0, that's fine. When people sector respawn, I like to make it at least 2 minutes, so they don't just come back all the time and irritate the guy who's been winning the fight all the time. I want to go 180 here for the shelter, because the sector guy is probably going to spawn on his bed, but he's going to take some time to get back to the base. And the guy who spawns in his base, it doesn't have to run back to the base. He'll be in the base, okay? And the base owner has got a bit of an advantage. So I'm just letting the base owner wait an extra 60 seconds. And then the punishment for dying repeatedly, I just keep a default. I don't really play around with that. You can remove the punishment, or you can make the punishment higher. So basically all this means is, if the guy dies, that's how long he's going to wait. He's not going to wait a second for random. He's going to wait 2 minutes for sector, 3 minutes for shelter. If he dies again, then he's going to be punished, okay? But what's the time span for him to die again and be punished? So they've got low second. This is seconds here, okay? They've got a low amount because they just want to counter people just committing suicide constantly. But I'm going further than that. If you lose a fight, you go back into the fight and you lose again, then you must random spawn, okay? So I'm going to make it so that you have to survive for at least 10 minutes before you can die again. Okay? You can't just, all these Counter-Strike players or whoever, it's basically just to keep it realistic, guys. But again, this tells you the cooldown time is how much time must go by before the player doesn't pay a penalty for dying again. Now, on the default settings, don't worry. The guy has to literally kill himself immediately when he hits the ground, because it probably takes about 60 seconds for him to hit the ground in any case. But this is just how much time must go by before you're fresh again and you don't have to pay a penalty. But if you die within this time, then this reset multiplier kicks in. So you're going to have to wait longer and longer and longer and longer, okay, to reset. And then random price modifier, I'm not going to change the price at all. So just leave it there. If you want him to wait longer if he dies repeatedly and pay more money if he dies repeatedly, then you can set these up. But I don't play around with that. And then commit suicide cooldown, reset time is fine. And then the threshold is 0, guys. 0. So default is you have to hit minus 2,500 to hit permadeath. On this server, because it's based on realism, and you have to sell things at the trader to afford a clone, any clone, okay? And again, this Tech One company on the Wasteland doesn't accept any debt. So if you die immediately, you have to start a new character, which forces you to play the game a lot more responsibly and a lot more seriously, okay? It is definitely one-of-a-kind server. So we're putting the permadeath on 0 again so that people can't just run over your minds on purpose. It just stops people from doing stupid things, troll behavior, and because the server's got no rules, I must limit the troll behavior as much as possible. But in any case, this is the number at which you hit, at which permadeath is going to activate. So as soon as my money goes under 0, permadeath activates. So if I jump into the server, I've got 0 money. It's not going to activate because I'm not below 0. But as soon as I want to respawn, and the cost of respawning is going to take me to below 0, it's not going to give me the option to respawn. It's just going to be permadeath. Okay? So I feel I'm happy there. Hopefully I don't make a mistake because I'm talking and doing these things. The fuel, I don't like the speed at which the fuel drains overall. Okay, and then I just to help my players a bit, I put battery drain to half as well. But the thing is, I do feel fuel drains a little bit too fast, so we're putting it on 0.5 for now, just a quality of life change. But this is just how fast does the fuel drain when you drive, how fast does the battery drain when you drive, and then, you know, it's basically self-explanatory, the drain from the battery. Then we've got this is where things get very, very interesting. And yeah, we're going to go through all the vehicles, but I'm just going to explain to you using the dirt bikes example. If I put this to 40, then I'm telling the game I want 40 dirt bikes to spawn on the map, okay? But and then I can add functional vehicles to the game as well. But again, complete realism, complete survival. I'm not going to add any functional vehicles to the game because the only way for 40 vehicles to spawn on, for 40 dirt bikes to spawn on the server when everyone joins the server is if the dirt bikes are on 40 and the functional is on 0 and you can't buy any dirt bikes. Then everything's going to spawn in the world. Okay? But if I change these numbers, then 40 is going to spawn, but 9 of them are going to be functional. And 9 of them are going to be in the shop. So only 9 plus 9 is 18. But let's make this 10 to make it simpler. If I make the functional vehicles and the vehicles that you can purchase at the shop 10, then you must take this 10 and this 10 and subtract it there. So only 20 broken vehicles are going to spawn. 10 functional vehicles are going to spawn. Then you'll be able to buy. So what I do is I make the max amount of dirt bikes 40, but only 20 of them are going to spawn on the map. The other 20 you must buy. Okay? And I don't mind putting the vehicle numbers high because there are going to be no vehicle limits. Okay? So there are probably going to be vehicle hoarders or whatever the case be. I just want people to be comfortable driving the vehicles around. So 40 doesn't mean 40 is going to spawn on the server. It's 40 minus the 20 that you can buy at the shop. Because even the ones that you allow them to buy at the shop counts as a vehicle. Okay, so 20 is going to spawn in the world, and then you'll be able to buy 20. So on the Lycas, I'm going to go 40, and then remove the functional, and you can just make them all in a line because the purchase also always going to be half of your max. So again, 20 on the map, you're going to be able to buy 20 motorboats. I'm just going to put all of them the same, guys. 20 and 20. Wheelbarrows, I don't like a lot of wheelbarrows on the server, so here I'm just going to go 20 and 10. Okay, then Volkswagens, again, 40, and remove that. So only 20 is going to spawn. Then bicycles, I want to put at 60. No, that's a bit too easy. I'm going to put that at 20, and you can buy 20 as well and remove the functional. Okay. So yeah, that gives me a total number when everyone has emptied the traders. So originally, so at the start of the server, it's going to be 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 130. About 130 vehicles, okay? That's going to spawn on the map. Not really vehicles, 130 objects, which is quite high. That is quite high, which might be a problem, but I hope you guys understand how it's working. So I just want to think quickly here because I'm literally setting up the server as we speak. 20 dirt bikes, I don't have a problem with that. 20 Lycas, I don't have a problem with that. 20 motorboats, I've got a problem with that. So we're going to make that 20 and make that 10. That's a little bit too much motorboats for me. And the wheelbarrows, yeah, it's fine. And then the Volkswagens, yeah, 20 is fine. Bicycles are fine. No, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to click apply. And then I'm going to go over here to maximum time, vehicle inactivity. It's usually 10 days, but I'm going to change it to 72 hours. I want players on the server to be active, so I'm going to change it to 3 days. Just so, because people are going to hoard and hide vehicles. You know, so making it 3 days is better so that the new players that come into the server can find a vehicle. Maximum time in forbidden zones, you just, you know, when a vehicle is going to disappear, when you leave it in a safe zone, you're going to press apply here. And resources, that's fine. So the damage, human to human damage is fine. I'm putting the sentry at ×5. Human to human damage, this is self-explanatory, guys. 1 is default, okay? You can increase it. Everything is default at 1. I'm increasing the sentry damage and the zombie damage to 5. Okay, because puppets spawn very weirdly. I don't want you to die with 1 shot, but if you get shot by a sentry, you're going to die with 1 shot. Item decay multiplier, I'm going to put this on 0.5 for both. Feel the food is a little bit fast. The items decaying should be slower as well because it's realistic. So I'm going to put that on 10% for an item to decay. Although, yeah, items disappear in any case, so it's fine. We're going to put the decay on, let's make it 20%, okay? And the lock protection damage is just how much the zappers do. You can leave it at default or increase it. I've decided to put it on 2, okay? And okay, just get this all to default. Okay, and then we're going to go to features. Base building, flag overtake. I never want you to take over a flag. So what's the maximum timer here? 2,400. Never want you to take over flag. 300 base parts because it's a solo experience. And then 25 and 75. Maximum number of expanded elements. Extra elements per flag for additional squad members. Okay, the squad members doesn't really help. So maximum number that you can expand the flag by is going to be 100. Because this won't count. You can't add players to the squad. Extra elements per flag for additional squad members. That's not going to count. So we're going to make that 100. Okay. Allow multiple flags? No. Make it realistic. And then we're going to go for resources. Water, initial amount, multiplier. Okay, that's fine. Gas price. The gas price, yeah, everything is fine here, guys. Everything is fine on default here. I don't have a problem with that. And then spawn probability. So this is going to be, I want to put it on 0.75, but I'll have to go into the server settings. So for now, for now, I'm going to go 0.8, guys. Vanilla loot is just way too strong for me. Yeah, so I'm gonna go for 8, and in my other settings, the text file, I'll change it to 0.75. It's a shame that we can't change it now. And the way I'm countering it is so that the Luthais spawns like 1.0 expiration time. It's just how long does it take for the loot to spawn again? Okay, if you search something, how long before you can search it again? So 1.0 is default time. I'm letting the loot respawn a little bit faster because the loot's going to be so low. Okay, so I'm going to put it at 0.7. Or am I going to put it at 0.8? I'm gonna edit it to 0.75 in the text file. Okay, so we're pressing apply there. And then squad members, I'm just going to put on 1 so that you can't allow squads. This is just for the intelligence level, okay? You can change that so you can see, like, if you've got a squad member with an intelligence of 4, you can have a squad of 8. If you've got a squad mate with intelligence of 5, they can make a squad of 10. Okay, there is not going to be squads on the server because it's realism. You can play with as many people as you want, but you're not going to have name tags for the realism. So I'm going to apply that. Farming is fine. You can disable the exhaustion if you want. The body simulation speed is default, that's fine. Maintain items is default. Killbox defuse failure bonus is basically default. That's just how much extra time you give him if he fails to wirecut. Bedroll visibility timer is default. Is how long does the bedroll stay there after you log out on a bedroll? You can enable BCU locks on bases, or you can put it off. That's up to you. And then I think that's it. I think that's it for now. And then the custom zones. You can create custom zones here very, very easily. All I'm going to do is increase the zones that I have to 700. Just going to increase the size. You can change the position where they're at. Okay. So just going to do that right there. Just make them a little bit bigger. That's all. To counter trader camping a little bit. Okay, 700 is relatively a good size. I'm happy with that. And then if you want to, you can create zones so that people don't build bases very close to bunkers. Okay. So what we can do now is we can go to, we can add a configuration here, and we can call this bunker zones. Bunker zones. Okay. And then we have to make the bunker zone a color. We're going to make it red, and we want to change something about this bunker zone. So in this bunker zone, we don't want to allow baseballing. So we're going to block baseballing. Ignore just means it's default. I'm going to block baseballing so that people don't build their base too close to certain bunkers. Okay, so baseballing is off. Picking walled locks, picking player locks, damaged vehicles, damage to bases. Damage to bases should be on, of course. Trap damage, explosive damage, projectile damage, throwing damage, melee damage, brawling damage, vehicle damage, base defense damage. Base defense damage. Okay, oh, that makes sense. Animal damage, sentry damage, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm just going to block. I'm just going to block base building. So I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to create a zone here. So I'm going to say add circle or triangle. It's up to you. I'm going to add a circle. And then I'm going to go over a bunker that I know gets bolted on, gets used quite a lot. I'm going to make it about 350. Just 400. Yeah, I'm going to make it about 400. Okay. So people can't build too close to that bunker. And then here is, I'm just going to go to bunker zone. Okay. Apply. So now this, you see, everything's being ignored except the base building. So you can't build the base there. And again, just randomly add a circle. B3 bunker is important. Okay, so here I'm going to make another sector. 400 is going to be a bit big, but it's fine with me. Okay, so then I'm going to just make this that again. And then the A3 bunker, again, going to add a circle here. The A3 bunker, I don't want people to build too close to the A3 bunker. I'm going to change that. And okay, I'm just going to mark a few bunkers, guys. I'm basically just going to mark a few bunkers. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just added a bunch of no-build circles around most of the bunkers because we all know bunkers is the new secret source to success in Scum at the moment. So, yeah, don't want anyone, building a base right next to the bunker. That will be very, very negative. Now that we're done there, we're just going to go apply. We're going to go escape. Okay, back. We're going to quit the game, and then we're going to wipe the server, or we're just going to restart the server. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to server settings, and I'm going to save this. Partial wipe on, and a gold wipe is on. Okay, I'm going to apply it. Yes, and then I'm going to restart the server. And then the server should work as intended. And then, of course, I can quickly show you guys... I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you set the restarts. So here you guys can see when I go to Wasteland, I just go to scheduled restarts. Okay, I just want to show you one restart here. So you go new, you go scheduled start, stop, restart. Okay, scheduled restart. You go new. You're going to call it whatever you want to. I just call it 1 for restart 1. I'm going to say daily. I want it to restart daily. I want to make sure it's at the same date as today. And of course, it's late in the evening now. So I'm going to let the first restart happen at 12 a.m. Okay. Because this is a new day. So 12 a.m. tomorrow. 12 a.m. the 26th of the 5th. The 26th of the 5th. Okay? And that's it. I don't have to go repeat task. You don't have to click that, guys. Do not click that. Daily, the date, recur every 1 day, and then you go save. Okay? And then you go to schedule tasks, schedule restarts. So there it says, in the morning hours, that's going to be the first restart. And now I'm just going to add, go, the next one is the same day, but 4 hours after that, 4 hours after that, 4 hours after that, because if you make the server restart every 4 hours, there will be 4 divided by 24 is 6. So you'll have 6 different restart times. And if you have it that your server restarts every hour, that's 24 restarts. So I hope you guys understand that. If you enjoyed this video, or if you've got any other questions, leave it down in the comments below. And if you did find this helpful, do me a favor and click that like button. And like always, if you want to see and learn everything there is to see and learn about Scum, then hit the subscribe button. And again, guys, any questions, you can ask me down below. You guys asked for it, I gave it to you. And yeah, click my affiliate link down below if you want to create a server just to help me a little bit, and come join us at Wasteland. See what it's like. See if you've got what it takes. You have to join the Discord, and you have to DM me to give me your Steam ID so that I can go to your Steam profile and make sure you're a real person that actually wants to enjoy the game. Cheers.